more important we have a union.
There's strength. Unity is strength.
I think workers have finally had enough. They're not going to be beaten up. They're not going to be stepped on by the corporate giants anymore, and they're looking for somebody to help them. And I think a lot of workers are starting to turn towards union, in particular the RWDSU.
In the last 4 years, RWDSU members also saw struggles, political, economic, and even natural, that challenged us and inspired us to take action. In August of 2005, Hurricane Katrina ravaged the Gulf Coast, exposing the enormous disparity between the rich and working people in the United States. The federal government's response left many wondering about the administration's priorities that did not seem to include the concerns of working families. The Bush administration's hostility towards working families has been on display for the last 6 years. The RWDSU stood up against this administration time and time again and worked to elect pro-labor candidates who can articulate our concerns in both Canada and the United States. The RWDSU also continued to fight the largest employer in the United States, Walmart. We recognize the threat this employer poses to our living standards and working conditions. The RWDSU, together with the UFCW, have educated communities as well as rallied and brought tremendous public pressure on Walmart to change its ways.
This bill says yes to employee health care and yes to taxpayer justice.
And while we have been successful in keeping Walmart out of many of our communities, the fight against Walmart rages on. We've also seen many RWDSU members facing the greatest challenge of all by answering the call of their country and leaving their jobs and families to go fight in Iraq.
I had 6 months to go before I could retire in the National Guard. You know, I wasn't going to say, hey, I only got 6 more months or whatever. It was, you know, when duty called, if I had 1 day left, I would have still went, you know. I spent the first 5.5 months in a tent. Yeah, in the desert. We were mortared quite a bit there. It was happening all around us, you know. It was the mortars and people getting hit and stuff like that. And then, you know, you just kept you kept the morale and the spirit of your troops up, you know. 12 weeks into the deployment, my wife lost her job. The union had opened an account so people could donate money for supplement my wife, you know, while I was gone. So, I mean, that was the type of people and the type of leadership we have here that was taking care of them while I was gone.
But it's the determination and the strength we have shown in all of our battles that have made all the difference. It was our willingness to stand together and support each other that made the difference between victory and defeat. At Vlasic in Imlay City, the seasonal workers, the mostly immigrant workforce who had so much to lose, well, they stood out there too.
Nunca pensamos que íbamos a perder nuestro trabajo. Siempre tuvimos confianza en que la unión siempre ganaría.
And in June, 6 weeks after the workers were locked out, the RWDSU and its members won a decent contract.
I'm glad that the union was right here for us, and 100% I'll be a union person till they bury me somewhere.
At Macys, we showed the company our solidarity and support of each other, the true strength of the RWDSU, when the RWDSU held a rally in support of local 1S members.
You want to see people have strength in numbers? We had it.
Solidarity for Macys workers, solidarity for all workers in New York City, and keep it up.
They were scared. They were scared.
And finally, after a hard-fought battle with the largest department store company in the world, the Macys workers got the fair contract they deserved.
The key to this contract was that the people from the RWDSU, people in the stores, they all took part in it.
Our leaders did a fantastic job, and the company was on the defensive throughout. Really, it was something to see.
But the struggle continues, and every day, in every workplace, we must never let up our efforts. At Tyson Foods, the Alabama and Mid-South Council battles on and continues to fight for the rights of immigrant workers.
We'll be here as long as there's concrete under the building.
Now that's how far we'll go.
And without people, there's no strength. Without unity, there's no strength. And without an organization there that can help bring people together, you automatically lose.
You know, if that contract's not in play, we're just puppets on a string. And we need good, strong leadership to cut those strings and say, no, this is what we want, this is what we're going to get.
I look at what we've been able to achieve during the last 4 years, and I am so proud of the RWDSU and being part of it. When we stand together, when we support each other like family, that's when we have the strength to win.